everybody. It is the Geek Out Freak Out podcast. I'm worn out with Disney stuff. I tried reading and my eyes melted. I don't know about yours, Matt.
So much Disney stuff.
I am in overload, man.
Much.
It's a big news week, man. How are you, Matt?
Yes, I'm doing all right, doing just fine.
Oh man, I tried all the Disney stuff, all the Disney Plus stuff hit, and then I was like, all right, cool. And then I forgot Star Wars Celebration was this weekend. Yep. So I was already thinking about, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. This is this. And then Star Wars Celebration started happening. I was like, oh, shit. We have even more stuff to talk about.
So much Star Wars. So much to geek out about.
How many times did you change your pants this weekend?
70 times. Oh, wait, no, take that back. 1,138 times.
Nice. 1,138. Is that a specific number for a reason? Does that number mean something to you?
It's
good. I didn't even catch that. Holy shit.
I could have also said 6. I could have also said 66, but
Matt with a deep cut there. It would have been order 66. Execute. Yeah. Change of pants 66.
Yeah, basically, pretty much. So.
Oh man, how's your week, man? Before we get into all that,
pretty good. Of course, we had WrestleMania last week. We had that show. I think I did pretty good. On my predictions, and I think I did all right. I think I called. If you guys watched WrestleMania, I think I called the Universal Championship match opening the show.
You did.
That was a pretty nice little ooh yeah, I saw that coming. I thought it was pretty cool. And so yeah, I just watched a lot of wrestling this past week, and still recovering from that. And yeah, but it's pretty good, man. Just enjoying all the news coming out of Disney and Star Wars, and looking forward to what's next in the upcoming weeks. The short 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away from something very, very exciting.
WrestleMania was good, but I don't know. I'm just burned out again. I feel like everything post WrestleMania was absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's normally WrestleMania is kind of mediocre. It's there, and then it's the after shows, like the Raw after and the SmackDown after, that are really good. But I kind of felt the opposite. Mania was everything that we wanted as fans. Everything that you could have asked for as a fan, you got. And the weekend leading up to it, there was a lot of good stuff from Ring of Honor and NXT. So it was a great weekend for wrestling. And then everything after that was just... I don't know if I was just burnt out over the amount of wrestling I watched over the weekend and just was done, or if it really was that bad. But I just did not enjoy anything afterwards.
I don't think it was that Raw and SmackDown were so bad.
Maybe they didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah, I just think it's how do you top that?
Yeah.
Really, how do you top... what we just experienced and watched, and it's kind of hard now to after what happened over the weekend to be kind of any sort of surprised about any kind of debut. We had a debut from Lars Sullivan, which was being teased, and then it just kind of was oh, okay, he showed up finally. That's about it, And then we didn't get any big names really that came back, and I kind of just think too with the new introduction of All Elite Wrestling, I mean, that kind of takes away from some of the, bigger debuts that we would kind of think to expect. But I think later on down the road, that's going to make things a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, like you said, totally burnt out. I'm not totally burnt out on wrestling, but, it was a lot. And but I did have a lot of fun this past week, so.
Cool. Awesome. I had fun with it, too. I thought it was a cool weekend for wrestling.
Definitely.
So, do we want to just jump into the mountain of news ahead of us?
Yes, let's just go ahead and do that.
All right, so let's just break down Disney Plus. So, Disney decided to take the tarp off of Disney Plus so we could check out everything that they have coming for us. So, it is a streaming service that will debut on November 12th. My shocker for this whole thing is that it's $6.99 a month.
Yeah. Or $70 up front, and you basically get 2 months for free.
$70 for the year I think is a great plan.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm blown away by the amount of stuff you're getting for such a small price, considering that my Netflix subscription just went up to $16 this weekend.
Yeah, so should be very interesting to see how Netflix counteracts going into the future, seeing how they're going to lose so many like licenses once.
Oh, no doubt.
Up theirs, yeah.
So
I mean, they're even going to lose them before. Like, you know, a lot of those titles that are from Disney Studios are going to get pulled, and so it will be very interesting to see how Netflix responds in upcoming future.
So I'll run through a lot of these, and I'll pause for us to talk on some of them that I know are big deals for us to talk about. So first and foremost is The Mandalorian, which we got to see a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff at Star Wars Celebration, which is it's the first ever live-action Star Wars series, and this is the one starring Gina Carano and Carl Weathers, which is great.
Yeah,
and
how cool is
produced
that?
by Jon Favreau. I am really excited for this one. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you only tweeted twice, OMG. I mean, not tweeted,
Yeah.
Instagrammed twice.
Instagrammed it, yeah. I mean, so cool. First we got the title reveal, and then, like, you know, and then unexpectedly you got some, like, great-looking screenshots from,
Yes.
you know, on-set stuff. So
Gina Carano looked awesome.
she looks great, and I was kind of worried about how the show was gonna look, but now I'm just like, bring it on, man! I want to see this. This looks great.
Did you see the video where they were showing how they shot some of the ships, like flying past and stuff, and how they went with models instead of CGI on some of it?
I did not see that. So
it is really
there's still
good.
There's still a lot of celebration stuff that I missed when they're streaming a lot of it on YouTube. But I was like in and out, like watching it all, like, you know, the past couple of days. So there's still a lot of like highlights that I missed. So I'm definitely gonna go back and, like, you know, watch the best of the best that they have.
Awesome. I don't know, man. I don't know how much more excited I could be for this. It's funny because I'm super over the top excited for this one, but episode 9 I've just been kind of, I guess it's because episode 8 was the way it was, like it didn't hit for me the way I wanted it to. So I've been like cautiously optimistic about 9, but this new trailer for 9 that just launched, I thought was really good. Like, it looked way better than anything we saw leading up to episode 8.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was in the opposite boat. Like, I loved episode 8. So I was highly looking forward to it. You know, I was in the same boat as everybody else that, you know, we're kind of just like, shut up and just give us a name already. Hurry up and just give us a name.
What do you think about the name?
I love it. I think it's great because I think it's kind of like, I don't think it has a play like as far as Rey's character, like that she's a Skywalker, she's not a Skywalker. I think it's more like the teaching of the Skywalker legend.
And they obviously are teasing that she might be. I mean, especially with them intentionally showing the shot of her embracing Carrie Fisher and crying. I feel like they're trying to kind of lead towards that and want you to think that she is.
Yeah, but she's not, so it's okay.
Yeah, I don't think she is either. I really don't think she is either. I love the shot of Kylo Ren etching his helmet.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I love, like, the shooting star press Rey
Yes,
does.
yes.
with the oncoming, like, the upgraded TIE fighter bomber, whatever you want to call it.
The interceptor.
Yeah, the interceptor, and it's like coming after her, and it's like literally scraping the ground, trying to like track her down, and it just shows like how far she's come, like in her force powers.
Oh, I know.
To like just to be an all-out just butt kicker Jedi. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how she repairs a lightsaber, how that looked, and just there's just so much like build up to like they can cover, you know, in this movie. And to close it out, like, you know, the rise of the Skywalker, and it's also going to be the end of a saga, the end of the Skywalker story. So, which, you know, Disney went ahead and confirmed that, like, after this one's done, they're going to take a good break.
I think they need to, don't you?
Movies. And that's fine with me. Absence makes a heart grow fonder. And so,
I think like a 4 or 5 year break would serve them well.
I would be okay with even a little bit longer. You
Yeah.
know, like give us some time. Let us crave that Star Wars again. You know, there was a big chunk of time in between Episode 3 and Episode 7. So, you know, let that time build, man. You know, what was the time difference between 3 and 7? It was more than 10 years. You know, when you think about
for
it.
sure.
So, and then on top of that, we started getting, you know, like a Star Wars movie every year, and it kind of just built up on it. But, you know, for some of, you know, the hardcore fans are never going to really complain. You know, the diehard Star Wars fans aren't going to be like, this is too much Star Wars, tone it back. But for like the you know, couch potato, you know, casual Star Wars fans, they're probably not going to be able to like ingest as much of this stuff that, you know, they're not really that, you know, 100% into. So it's okay for me, for them to want to like take a step back, because I would rather them take the time, make a great story, especially if we're stepping away from the Skywalker family and we're going to do a whole new saga, go maybe into a totally different time period. Take the time, make that universe, come back and make some great films out of it, and I'm going to be really... Then there's like a lot of great source material out there that they can definitely pull from, and a lot of the books and a lot of comics aren't canon anymore. They're not canon anymore, but you can definitely like borrow from those and go ahead and use it to inspire you going forward. So, I'm excited. I welcome the break, and it'll let us be able to, delve more into what we have now, especially with, like smaller books that'll come out, like about what happened in between, and that'll be a lot of fun for me. So it'll definitely give me some time to actually enjoy Star Wars in another media, like especially with, we just got the announcement for the that new game. What's it called?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, the Fallen Order, which that looks cool.
Yeah.
So.
And I believe there's going to be some sort of, where I read somewhere, there's going to be a little bit of customization in that game. I don't know how much they're going to go into it, but I did see that for pre-orders, you were supposed to be able to get some sort of customizable parts for your lightsaber and some customizable parts for your droid.
Yeah, and I mean, technically that game comes out before the movie does, but, So
it looks like it's set before the movies anyway. Like, before this batch of movies, it looks like it's probably set in between the last trilogy and this, or the... Episode 4 and Episode 5. Or excuse me, 5 and 6.
Yeah, it's definitely
whatever episodes.
No, I think it's actually set in between still 3 and 6, or I'm sorry, 3 and 4.
Okay. Which I'm okay with. I think a lot of things should be set leading into that fall, like that lead in to the Empire. I like that idea of like the rising
because
of the
it's
Empire.
the whole idea, like where it says like don't stand out, don't do all these things. Basically, don't let anybody know you're a Jedi, because right now is a dangerous. Yeah, right now is a dangerous time to be a Jedi, and it, even at the beginning of that preview, it talks about Order 66.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think that's a good time period to set something in.
Oh, that's great. There's a lot of good stories you could definitely pull in there, because you think about, I think there's like basically like an 18-year gap, like a window that you can play with of like stuff that could have happened in between, Episode 3 and Episode 4. So, yeah. Well, I'm excited.
There's another series you should be excited for, Matt, and that is High School Musical, the series.
I don't know about that.
What you should be excited for with Disney Plus, and what we both should be excited for with Disney Plus, is having a streaming service where we can access Zombies and Descendants on demand.
On the same time. I mean, I did already. I mean, you already bought Descendants. I'm sure you did.
I've got them on DVD somewhere, because they haven't had them on digital.
Yeah, which I think is weird that I do have Zombies on iTunes, and it's available on YouTube, but it's not available like on Vudu or like any other digital streaming service.
It's weird.
So it's kind of like and that's kind of just a weird thing. And plus, too, at the same time, Zombies in itself is a Disney Channel movie, but when you buy it as a TV show.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like something weird, categorization problem that they have going on within themselves. But yeah, I think that to me is gonna be cool, because like all those Disney exclusive movies are gonna be available in that service. So,
they said something like 5,000 hours of Disney Channel content coming to it.
Oh,
so you're going to get television shows, movies, future movies and TV shows. Like a lot of the Disney Channel stuff is going to end up on there, which I think is really cool. As somebody with kids, like there's a lot of stuff on that streaming service I like, but there's also stuff that my daughter and my son could use as well. So I think, again, $7.99 or $6.99. I feel like I'm ripping them off.
Oh, you know what? Disney has taken so much of our money. And anytime you go to the
time
parks,
to give back.
It's just like, they take out so much of your money when you go to the parks. It's like, yeah, come on. And also, I think, too, like the $7 price tag is justified, because I think right now, too, they realize, like, hey, we don't have the biggest library, So not everybody's going to be so excited to stream, every episode of Hannah Montana. But, so I think that's kind of a draw to it. Do I see them raising the price eventually? Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, for sure.
And because they're going to have so many, exclusive series going to them, and there's going to be people wanting to actually make projects exclusively for Disney, and so I think eventually the price will go up, but I think $7 is a great way to get a lot of people to spend per month. I mean, that's nothing. You spend more than $7 like when you go out to eat and buy like a meal for yourself. I go to Wendy's and I buy like a burger meal and it's like 7 something. You know, so it's like, man, like per month, that's going to be awesome.
So it also says that they're going to allow downloading of all content so you can stream it offline. Whereas Netflix only has certain content that has the download capability. So I think that's really cool that you'll be able to download anything. Because especially like for me, like when we go on trips, it's nice to be able to download that stuff and have it. So when we lose signal, that or we're not using data the whole time.
Yeah, and if you notice, actually on Netflix, like when you do like download something, it's all the Disney stuff that you can't download. So anything from Disney are like some of those titles that you can't download directly to your device. So to me, that's a huge plus. You know, like they look out. The offline downloading is great, especially if you're a parent. You know, and you need that. You need that, especially for road trips. So I'm really excited for that.
It says all Pixar films will be available within the first year. All Pixar shorts, all the theatrical Pixar shorts will be available at launch. There's a new Bo Peep short from Toy Story that'll be on there. This is a cool one, and this one I'm really excited for. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan will be returning for a television series based around Falcon and Winter Soldier.
They will return from being
murderized?
Pieces of dust, and then they now have their own TV show.
Hey, someone else who's coming back from death is Loki.
Yep.
And Tom Hiddleston's coming back. I think that's going to be cool. It says that this is going to be available in the second year after launch.
Yeah, the Loki series will be overseen by Rick and Morty producer Michael Waldron and is said to follow the God of Mischief as he meddles with key events in human history.
Yes, I read somewhere it was described as Quantum Leap, but with Loki.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
I'm down with that.
And then we've got an untitled Cassian Andor series starring Diego Luna. So I think that is really cool that they're going to focus on Cassian Andor, which was his character from Rogue One.
Yep.
I thought he was a great character, too.
Here's something that we talked about last week, I think, very briefly. Jeremy Renner is expected to reprise his roles as Avenger sharpshooter Hawkeye for a live-action series that will have him pass the torch, as well as his bows and arrows, most likely to a young girl named
Kate Bishop. Yes!
The series is inspired by the Marvel Comics series that follow Clint Barton and his young protege.
So it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. You think that's her that he's teaching in
it could be.
Endgame?
I think that's a great tease to it. And then we also have WandaVision, which is the Scarlet Witch, and the Vision will co-headline.
I don't like that name.
That will bring back Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen as the Titler. I don't know how to say that. Titler. Android and energy manipulating heroine, respectively. Captain Marvel co-writer Jack Schaefer will serve as head writer and showrunner. So a lot of cool stuff coming from Marvel, man. I think that's great. It's pretty cool.
Oh, this one's kind of cool. Marvel's Hero Project, series produced by Marvel New Media in partnership with Maggie Vision Productions, reveals a positive change to several young heroes making in their own communities. Marvel celebrates these young heroes as they are true superheroes, or celebrates them as the true superheroes they are. So that's available at launch. This one I think is really cool. The World According to Jeff Goldblum, which is essentially going to be like how does it get made kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But with Jeff Goldblum as the host.
Yeah.
Which I am okay with, 100% okay with.
There's another back to Marvel real quick. There's another report that says there's an animated series based on the Marvel Alternatives Universe What If comics.
Yes, Marvel What If.
It's also being developed for the streaming service. The anthology-style series will tell standalone stories that explore what might happen in certain events in Marvel's cinematic universe unfolded differently. For example, one episode will show what would happen if Peggy Carter received the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers, forcing the scrawny Brooklyn kid to suit up in a Howard Stark-created suit of armor instead. The live-action MCU actors are expected to voice their characters for the animated series.
That's super
But it's just
cool.
like that's even a bigger plus because it's like they're developing these animated shows for Disney as it is, and it's like, hey, we have the actors too for these roles. Let's get Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, to voice a couple of Captain America lines. Like that's gonna be cool. That's a nice little continuation of like continuity, really, like between the movies and the shows. So that's something that we don't get now, like you obviously Netflix canceled all the Marvel Netflix shows, and we have a little bit of a disconnect between shows like Cloak and Dagger, which is like on Freeform, but like is really kind of like outside and by itself inside the Marvel universe. Yeah, and Gifted, and then we also have Shield, Agents of Shield, which used to be pretty like one-on-one with the movies, but now has definitely gone off and done their own thing.
I know.
We still get a little bit of a tie-in with Coulson, like being able to reprise his role in Captain Marvel. But I think it's really awesome.
I also see on here that they're going to have Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy animated series, and they're going to host Ultimate Spider-Man animated series as well. I think that is really cool. And yes, the 1987 DuckTales.
Oh, that's going to be great. Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to have the 2016 one and the first season, and then also the entire series of 1987's DuckTales.
Which, have you seen the newer DuckTales?
I've heard good stuff about it. I've seen the cast, and the cast is really good.
The cast is great, and it's definitely like a cool take on DuckTales. It's more like, and this is like right up your guys' alley. I say it's like old school DuckTales meets Supernatural.
Yeah? Okay, well.
Yeah, I could you know.
Well, so then.
It's really cool. Like some of the stuff like they get into is like, one of the friends of of the kids is like literally possessed with the demon.
Oh Jesus!
And like it's like constantly trying to come out. So it's pretty cool. Like there's a good it's not just one-off stories. They all play off each other. So it's definitely like this. There's a story continuation that goes out through the whole season. So they're not just one-off shows, where one thing happens and they totally forget about the next episode. So it's pretty cool. Like they do a really good job with that show, and like I watch it and I because it comes on. Ezra kind of likes it, but what's cool is like I can sit there and actually watch the show and enjoy it. So it's a good benefit of the new one, and of course the old school one is great too. And like they didn't change the theme song all too much. Like it's the same lyrics. It's just a little updated, but I think it's a great show.
So they are bringing
watching it. Watch it. Yeah.
I'm going to have to check it out. Back to the Disney Channel stuff, it says here that 7,500 episodes and over 500 films will be coming. Yeah. And then there's a really cool note right here. It says, from Sound of Music to Malcolm in the Middle, Disney Plus is bringing stories of all kinds to one place. So by bringing up that they're going to host Malcolm in the Middle, that shows that they're bringing in a lot of Fox series to be part of it. And one of the big things is now the exclusive streaming home for The Simpsons will be Disney Plus.
So they're going to be moving from Simpsons World, which is a part of FX Online. They'll be moving exclusively to Disney. And to me, I'm going to go bananas with that because
for sure. The older seasons? Oh my god.
And I do use Simpsons World on my phone, but to me like you can't download them, and to think like I can download some of my favorite shows and just watch them whenever I want to.
Yeah, that's really cool.
To me, that's going to be hilarious. It's like I'm going to download, of course, all the Halloween, all
the
Treehouse of Terror episodes. And I'm just gonna go bananas with it. And like the cool part too is gonna be like if I recite a line, from a Simpsons show,
you could show it to someone.
I could literally show it to Priscilla like right then and there.
This is what I'm referencing.
I can kind of do that, with YouTube. Like some of the best lines are on YouTube. Like I cut down. I would always play a Knifey Spoony with Pris. And she would just like I don't get this. Like, and she thought it was funny, like at first, but then. Offhand, she just so happened to be watching The Simpsons on TV one day, and this is literally last week, and that episode finally showed with her in the room, and she was like, "Oh my god, I get it now! I get it so much." Like she just cannot she had a good crack up laughing at that part. So yeah, I think it's great. So like we've been gushing about this Disney service for like 20 plus minutes now. I think that just goes to show you how excited not only like people like us are, but like really, really diehard Disney fans are going to be. Like, man, it's just another thing to take our money. And right now, like we're seeing all the good positive stuff about it. And the little look at the interface that we got didn't look too bad. So
I think it's cool that there's a couple unannounced or big time movies. Like there's a Christmas movie that they're having come out called Noel with Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick.
And
as
Ron Funches.
Nick. Oh yeah, and Ron Funches
Yeah.
as Nick and Noelle Kringle. They're brother and sister, and one of them's in line to be the next Santa Claus. But I think that's cool because there's big names.
Yeah, no, there's big names associated with
and Billy
pretty
Eichner.
much everything. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, Billy Eichner. So that's gonna be great.
And also, I didn't even know they were making this. Day one, available at launch, a Lady and the Tramp live action movie.
Okay, all right.
I don't think it's a huge deal, which makes sense as to why it's on there. But I think it's really cool. Tessa Thompson is the voice of Lady.
Oh, well, they got me at Tessa Thompson. So.
And then Yvette Nicole Brown from Community is going to be on it as well. So it's not something huge, but I mean, it's something that in the world where we're making these live action remakes and stuff that you think would have garnered some attention up until now. Like, I think it's really cool that not only, hey, is this coming out, but it's going to be out at launch. And then a lot of the movies like Captain Marvel will be available at launch. So, which you would think, because that should be on Blu-ray and DVD and stuff long before this launches in November. So, I think that's cool. Unless they hold it off for that week. And that's the big thing. Their big reveal is coming then. But who knows? Anything else on there that you think, we need to kind of cover? There's a Phineas and Ferb movie. Don't act like you're not excited.
There's a show right now called Milo Murphy's Law, which takes place in the Phineas and Ferb universe.
Oh yeah, and, you know what? We talked about that.
It's it looks interesting. So I'm totally into it. I can definitely watch it.
That's the other one, Monsters at Work. It's a TV series with the original cast of Monsters Inc.
And don't forget, we're getting a new Clone Wars revival.
I see that.
That was literally announced a minute ago on Twitter by Star Wars. There's some cool concept art of Ahsoka versus Darth Maul.
Oh God!
So I'm bring it on, dude.
Did you see that Darth Maul figure I sent you?
Yeah, of course I did.
With the spider legs, the robot legs.
That was the 997th time that I had to change my pants.
Oh God! So, that thing is so awesome. It's huge, and it was a convention exclusive.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. It's they're not gonna make that. I hope later down the line we get a version of that. I would love to have that in my collection. And Star Wars is part of the Star Wars celebration. There was a lot of cool figure releases, of stuff coming out from the Star Wars Black Series. And oh my God, there's a Clone Wars. Yeah, there's a Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi that I'm gonna murder people over to get.
Yeah.
So if you stand in my way, I will.
Which one is it?
There's it's General Kenobi, General Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's in the General clone trooper gear.
Yep, I see it. And he's got the black or the brown cape and the kind of smock over him. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that
one.
Look
is so
on
good.
Him. I love that look on him in the animated Clone Wars series, and then in the computer animated Clone Wars series. I wish we would have got that a live action form, and that's part of I wish we would have got a little bit more Clone Warsy stuff. Out of the movies because so much cool stuff happened.
Yeah.
But I love what they did with the series. It just made me love the show that much more. So.
Wasn't Forrest Whitaker's character from Clone Wars?
Yeah.
I thought so.
He was in the original Clone Wars series, and then he was in Rebels, and then they put him in Rogue One.
Rogue One.
So yeah.
This Emperor figure with the chair and he's throwing lightning is super awesome. I really want this one.
Man, let us talk about that preview. We also got the Emperor laughed. Good Lord, at the very end. So
my son is trying to speculate as to what happened. My wife's like, "There's no way he could be alive. It's got to be a ghost or Force ghost or something." I was like, "But part of the Death Star is on that planet, so
yeah."
I'm not putting it past them to retcon that back in.
In the books, they made plenty of clones of him. So, they
could definitely be that.
He could definitely be a clone too. So I'm just saying that's one cool thing that they could have borrowed from the books was cloning the Emperor.
That laugh.
And he could have been he could have been the puppet master the whole time. Because it's kind of how did they rise to power? There had to be, if we go back to episode 3, he was able to put a shroud of darkness over the entire, Jedi Council and basically just shield himself from being, seen from the get-go. So who's to say that, he masked his death this whole time, made everybody believe he was actually dead and was pulling those strings the whole time.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, and how do we not talk about Lando being back?
Oh, we kind of did, because he talked about him being a Mandalorian. So he's going to be in the Mandalorian show. And
no, he's not. That's a different actor.
Is that a different actor in the Mandalorian?
I didn't see what I brought up earlier was Carl Weathers, the actor that plays Billy D. Williams as Lando. I was like, maybe there's something that I missed. Did they show Billy D. Williams?
Yeah, it's Billy D. Williams. He's playing Two-Face in The Mandalorian.
Oh, no, Two-Face.
He's playing Harvey Dent in that movie. So
there you go. Well, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Two-Face.
But yeah, Carl Weathers I was getting them mixed up. But yeah, I think it's great. They look
Carl
great.
Weathers is Creed, damn it.
Yeah, he's Creed.
I figured they were bringing Lando back because I saw the poster, and I think someone was breaking down the toys, and there was Lando, and I was like, but the Lando that they showed in the toy looked more like Donald Glover. So I was like, why are they showing that toy? And then I thought, well, maybe they bring him back, and sure enough, they showed him. I was like, okay, well, I get it then.
I'm looking at Billy D's his Twitter, and it's kind of funny because he's really quiet, like up until he hadn't tweeted anything like since February, and then all of a sudden, just like last week, he just started going crazy with his Twitter. So it's kind of cool. Like he's pretty excited about being in Star Wars.
Oh, and I forgot to even mention that Alan Tudyk is returning as K2SO in Cassian Andor's series.
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
that's so good. He was such a great character.
He's really, I think that's great.
What was better, droid? Did you like him better, or was her name L7? Was that her name? From Solo?
No, I'm a big K2SO fan, but yeah, L7 was the droid in
K2SO was great.
Yeah, K2SO
I think he was my favorite of the two.
I think he's my favorite of all time.
Did you see this article where they said that they filmed 5 different endings with the Hulk so that way Mark Ruffalo didn't know which one to spoil?
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic.
That way he was just confused. That way he couldn't say anything. Oh, you know what I did get to watch this weekend is Shazam.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Fantastic.
Yeah, we went before WrestleMania and watched Shazam, and it was a pretty good movie. I wasn't a huge fan of the villain, but I liked the rest of the movie. I thought it was really good. It's a really good, like, young adult or teenager movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely what the story is geared towards. And it's definitely a family movie, for sure. But it was fun. It told a really good story. All the superhero shit was great. There's a spot where they show, like, his predecessor, and I'm positive it's supposed to be The Rock, because it's Black Adam that they're essentially showing, and it's a, like, hologram, but they've made it vaguely look like The Rock. And what I didn't realize until the credits rolled on this movie is that Dwayne Johnson was an executive producer for this movie.
Oh, yeah, well, because he's going to be Black Adam eventually. So.
Yeah. So I thought it was really cool that he was involved. And there's a couple really good cameos in the movie. There's one as a post-credit scene that it's a cameo without being a cameo. Uh-huh. They show a DC character without showing their face.
Oh,
so
Aquaman,
they obviously
right?
No, yeah, it's they show only his crotch.
That's great.
So they show the aqua cock.
The aqua crotch?
Yeah, that too. So you mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, you asked something about Idris Elba not playing Deadshot, and I was like, no, he totally is. I guess he's not playing Deadshot, but they're not recasting Deadshot. They're removing the character completely from the film. Yeah, and Idris Elba's going to play someone else altogether.
I think they're doing that, and because at the same time too, the Suicide Squad was a rotating squad of characters. So I think they're also doing that. Well, maybe the hopes that, you know, if there's a Suicide Squad 3 that comes out, that Will Smith's hoping to come back to it. And I think that'd be a cool option for them. And they said they also did it out of respect to Will Smith, like not to recast that character.
Yeah.
I think leaving the door open for a possible return for him to come back. And because I think he was one of the fun parts for me to watch that movie was watching him in it, you know. And he was, I felt like he did a great job with the Deadshot character.
I think he did too.
Especially with
it's always a disconnect when you switch characters like crazy. Like, I understand switching Rhodey in Marvel, and I think he's one of the only Marvel ones that got recast, isn't he?
Edward Norton Jr. got kicked out of Hulk because immediately, I don't even think he went to the premiere, which was like, I guess they ended that when they finished shooting on that film, because Edward Norton was also a producer on the Hulk, and he had, I think him and the director of the movie, maybe even him and Kevin Feige, clashed a lot as far as how to portray the Hulk in the movie. and he wasn't totally happy with how it came out. So as soon as that movie was done, he immediately said he was out. Like, he wouldn't reprise that character.
That's right. I don't know why I didn't think about that. But still, they were both subtle moves. It's not like, DC just has a habit of flip-flopping characters and stuff.
Yeah. And there's a couple like minor characters that got changed out in some of the other movies, but nothing like major. Like a couple of I think one of Thor's what are they called? Like sidekick guys.
Good Lord. I know their name.
It was Zachary Levi, and he was in Thor originally, and then he ended up getting switched out. So,
the Warriors 3.
Yeah. Thor and the Warriors 3, and then used to be the Warriors 4. Lady Sif in the Warriors 3, but
that's who it was. Yeah,
and then Lady Sif wasn't even in the last Thor, so it kind of leaves the door open too for Jamie Alexander for her to, eventually maybe come back and reprise her character, because it's kind of like, what happened with her character? We don't really know. So.
And I guess Kumail Nanjiani is in talks for the Eternals with Angelina Jolie.
Which
two good names to bring star power.
Yeah, I think that's great, and it's kind of like, too, at the same time, like, is he going to be funny or is he going to be serious? So,
no, he has to be funny.
Yeah,
he needs to bring levity.
Yeah, I think he's there to like help break the tension in those movies. So I think he's a great addition to anything he gets put in. I'm excited. Yeah, because it looks really funny. Him in that movie that Batista has, Dave Batista.
Oh yes, like Stuber.
That buddy cop movie that they got going on.
Yes,
like accidental buddy cop movie.
Looks so good.
Yeah, it looks good. And a nice little take on, like, hey, what if there was a cop that took an Uber? Like.
It looks like a funny movie. I think it looks great. And there's another Batista movie that I saw a poster for, but no trailer yet, called My Spy. It's with him and a little girl.
Oh, okay.
But there's no trailer yet for it. I've just seen the poster for it. So there's set photos, some Birds of Prey, and it's just Margot Robbie in costume driving around in a van or something.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I guess that's newsworthy.
Yeah. Birds of Prey.
You haven't watched Hellboy yet, have you?
No.
I've read really negative things, so I kind of stayed away from it so far.
And you should like Birds of Prey because it's going to have Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it.
Yeah.
Don't you remember?
Hell yeah.
She's going to be
watching that movie.
So you're going to be there like immediately.
Yes. I'll be first in line.
You're going to be first in line.
As if it's a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. So I feel like Mary Elizabeth Winstead was also in another movie that I think I always, anytime I hear her name now, I'm just like, Jeremy.
Thanks. Scott Pilgrim, damn it.
Yep. I'm just thinking like how much you're in love with her. So
yes, you should. Yeah, and I'm glad you think of me.
She's a great actress. I think she's a pretty good actress. And
she is a good actress.
She does. So. Yes, sir. Yeah. So and she's also have you watched India Love, Death and Robots yet?
I haven't, but I've heard good stuff.
Yeah, she's in
and apparently they're only like 15, 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, they're super short, and I think she actually plays. She's in an episode, and it's one of the only ones that is a live action one, and I think it's her and Topher Grace are in the same episode.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's pretty neat. Yeah, I highly enjoyed the series. I didn't get to their episode because I think it's later on in the season, but I mean it's just like I'm not the binge type, and so like a lot of times I start shows and I just sometimes forget that I'm even watching them, which is like kind of the point. Like with Roswell, like I do enjoy the show. It's just like I can't be dependent on showing up at a specific time to watch a TV show. Like it's just not me unless it's unless it's Raw and SmackDown, and like even then I'm kind of like I guess I'll watch it.
And that's how we normally are. But my wife is so hyped for Game of Thrones. Like we're watching that live tonight. So
yeah. So you guys are big Game of Thrones fans, so that's exciting for you guys.
Yeah, I'm more. I don't know. It's like I'm just ready for it to be over. Like. I love it. It's a good show. I'm interested to see where it goes, I guess.
And this is the 8th season?
Season 8, yeah. So I was reading today, these first two episodes are like an hour long. And then it goes to 70 minutes, then it goes to 75, and then like the last two are over 80 minutes long.
Oh, because it turned into like movies.
Or like the last 4, I think, are over 80 minutes. There are 3 are like 80 minutes long. Because there's only like 6 or 8 episodes this season.
Yeah.
But they get super long and they start to double in length on some of them and stuff. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see where it goes. It's one of those, like, I guess I'm kind of the same way with Endgame. Like, I'm just ready. Like, all this hype, all this buildup, I'm just ready for it. Like, I'm ready to sit through it, to soak it in, and see where we end up afterwards. See, I already know. I have unfortunately seen spoilers for Endgame. I don't know how many of them are true, but if they are true, you better have your Kleenex with you.
Yeah, I'm totally
Get
surprised.
Your tissue.
I'm surprised that you kind of went through and looked for them. Like,
I didn't look for them.
That conversation.
Like, I did not look for them.
If I see anything sort of sketchy, I'm just like, nah, I'm not even gonna click on that.
They were text message to me, sir.
Well, who would do that? That's absurd. Screw that.
It's not bad. I don't know that they're 100% true or not anyway. It's just a person on a website was claiming that they had seen the movie, and they were talking about things that they had seen. If they're true, it's not necessarily a spoiler, but the one thing I will say is there is not a post-credit scene to this movie.
See, like, from that get-go, I would have just been like, I'm blocking that person.
Oh, that was the last thing to the text message. Yeah. But there's apparently some sort of farewell to somebody. But they, again, like, I don't know if this person is telling the truth. Not the person who text messaged me, but the person who was posting is telling the truth on what they've seen and that kind of stuff. But there was another pretty hefty toy spoiler. And you and I both know what that spoiler is. I won't bring that up on the show at all. But there was a toy spoiler that, I don't know, like, I know you want to get those toys out there and you want to get them sold, but goddamn, like...
Yeah, I just think it's really interesting to put out Wolverine claws on, Captain America. So I don't know how they're going to mash those two characters together, but... I mean,
was there one like that?
No, I'm just...
I was going to say, I was like, holy shit, did they seriously make one like that?
I know they fought together at one point, but man, that's, like, really going out there.
There was... Did you see the video that I sent to you and your brother of the 1990s Avengers?
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched it fully yet. Yeah,
it's pretty good, but they show Jean-Claude Van Damme as Captain America, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it was images of him as Guile with a shield. They had, like, CGI'd a shield over him.
Yeah, I think I have seen that one. I didn't watch it when you sent it to me, but I've already seen that little video. But I think it's pretty funny. Pretty funny. I'm just like, first of all, if this was filmed in the 90s, it wouldn't look this good.
Right? Whoever made the trailer did a good job. They CGI'd some stuff together. That was great. Yeah,
they put, like, Tom Cruise's head on Tony Stark. I thought that was great.
Yes, that was cool.
It's pretty good. Like, I mean, I also think, too, I'm like, man, I guess when you're a virgin and you're living in your mom's basement, you got all kinds of time to do whatever you want. So,
hey, man, good on you. It's called a hobby.
Yeah, sure. Loneliness is a hobby. Got it.
Got it. Loneliness is a hobby, okay? It's a choice for some. Just defending people here. That's it.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to go out and you're going to make a cool trailer like that, good on you. You got all the views. I definitely didn't think of it, so, but still, one day you'll feel the touch of another person.
Oh, you know what we didn't bring up when we were talking wrestling? Is apparently how the state of New Jersey was not prepared for WrestleMania at all.
Oh, that's all I heard, like, on every, on the two, fan podcasts I listened to, that it was just absolutely horrendous leaving MetLife Stadium.
Well,
and then
apparently...
on top of that, it started raining immediately after WrestleMania finished. So people were stuck
I brought that up, too.
Getting drenched in rain.
And so I highly doubt they come back.
To MetLife Stadium? Isn't that the second time they've gone there?
Yeah, but given, the way this one went, because the governor of New Jersey, threw WWE under the bus for this. So the main problem was transit, that they didn't have the transit up and running for a lot of people. So WrestleMania ran until about 12:15, 12:20 in New York. And so it was just after midnight that it stopped.
New Jersey.
Or in New Jersey.
It was New Jersey.
Yeah. It was just after midnight that it stopped. And trains stopped at 1. So it took some people some time to get out of there and get towards the trains, and trains were ending at 1. So there were some people who said it took them 3 hours to get home, that they didn't get home until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Ugh.
And instead, the governor of New Jersey knew that they were coming. They knew it was a big event and that it would be running late. So instead of taking any sort of ownership for the transit closing early or closing when it did, he blamed it on WWE and said they shouldn't have ran a show so long. But on that note,
isn't it kind of like Flo Rida, being asked to perform there, and he asked if they could move WrestleMania instead?
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah. But on that note, I did read that the crew and the staff at MetLife Stadium were amazing. That security was a breeze to get through. Everybody was really accommodating. So MetLife Stadium did their part, and they were really good. But New Jersey as a state kind of dropped the ball. And a lot of people are speculating that WWE will probably not bother coming back to MetLife or anything set in New Jersey again after what they went through.
Well, that'd be fantastic because like the weather sucks at that time of year. I don't know why they would decide to run an outdoor stadium at that time of year.
Last time they did it, there was ice on the seats the day of.
Yeah, it's just like why even chance it? You know, like you get lucky. You're getting lucky, and you're not getting snowed or rained on.
It's a gamble,
but it's so close. Like to run an outdoor stadium, like why don't you try to go to one that has like a retractable roof? You know, so many of these newer stadiums are coming with those. So the chance of like, hey, it might rain, like close that roof, man. Close it out, and it should be fine. So I'm just wondering. I know there's some sort of like weird contractual deal, like why they haven't gone. And you figure they would have gone to the one in Atlanta already by now because it's a brand new stadium.
Yeah.
You would think they'd like want to be one of the first big events, but for some reason I think there's some sort of like deal that they can't go there yet, in Atlanta. But it's going to be in Tampa Bay next year and probably going back West Coast.
Pirate Mania.
Yeah, so I'm just looking, and I'm just looking forward to seeing Kairi Sane on that pirate ship in Tampa Bay. It's going to happen. She's going to do it. She's going to zip line from the pirate ship all the way to the ring. I can feel it.
It needs to happen.
Yeah.
Needs to happen.
She has to do it. I don't see it not happening.
I started a new game this week that I really think we should stream. And you got to witness part of this yesterday when you came by to pick up the PC. And that is Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. What were your thoughts getting to check this out a little bit?
You heard my laughter. You heard it looks fantastic. It's not like super like over the top graphic wise, but
it's like ragdoll physics based.
Yeah, it's based on like you can pick your different classes from different sorts of armies throughout time, and see how they fare against. You can go like realistic sort of armies against like you have like minotaurs and Valkyrie. Yeah, exactly. So. It gets pretty out there. It's pretty cool. It looks like a lot of fun, and just setting up like that big battle that we set up the other day or the other night. It was highly hilarious.
After you left, I did another one, and I had like a bunch of like swordsmen running at a bunch of guys throwing rocks, and it was just amazing watching the swordsman get hit in the face with the rocks in slow motion, because you could put everything in slow motion, so as people are getting blown up and stuff, and they're starting to ragdoll everywhere, you could slow it down, and we have to stream this. Like I don't know if I should just stream myself playing the. I guess that's it. I play the missions and try to play through them and stream that because it was much fun. I think it would be a really fun thing to stream.
I think you should stream it, and you should build in like have your like if people are watching have them go through and pick the armies for you.
Oh gosh!
And then you can like fight the army that they decided to build. I think that'd be hilarious.
I think it would be really cool too.
Give them like a cap, yeah. Give them a salary cap.
Oh god! Because my son tried to play after you left last night, and he bogged it down worse than I did.
I think that's hilarious.
It was fun. It was a cool game. So I think that's something that I should work on for the future.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what else. You got anything else, sir?
I think I'm good. I think,
You're all Disneyed and Star Wars'd out?
It's Disney, Star Wars, and wrestled out, man. And it's a fun week to, go over stuff. And it'll be, next week will be our last show before Avengers. So maybe we should do some Avengers pre-hype stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
We should. We need a movie.
Oh, yeah, we do need a movie. We need to come up with
We were supposed to tweet out genres. Yeah. Why don't we do a Marvel movie?
Okay, that sounds
I've got the Marvel movie. What do you think?
Which Marvel?
I don't even know how we get our hands on this. But what if we did the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury movie?
Oh God. Let's do it. We'll do our best to try to get hold of that movie. And if we
what was your other?
No, I was gonna say like I think the Captain America movie that my dad took back to Blockbuster.
Oh God, we should do that one because it was a story on the podcast.
I'd rather for the time being, let's see if we can find this David Hasselhoff Nick Fury movie.
Have you ever seen this movie?
I've seen parts of it.
I've seen it one time at like 4 a.m.
and it was like on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, so, that's where I caught it, or HBO or something. I just got up, couldn't sleep, and it was on, and I ended up watching the whole thing.
I guarantee you, it's somewhere on YouTube, just like Fantastic Four was. So I bet we can watch it.
That was the best part of that 1990s Avengers trailer that I sent you. Is that's who Nick Fury was?
Yeah,
the trailer was David Hasselhoff.
They just pulled it from that movie, which I thought was great. So.
Hey, this is so stupid. Yeah. We'll find something. We'll announce it on Twitter and we'll talk about it. Do we want to do that? We could do that after Avengers. Don't you think?
You want to talk about that Nick Fury movie after the Avengers?
Yeah, because that's a good week to do it. Because that'll give us an announce next week of which movie we're going to do, whether we can find that or do Captain America, and then we're going to watch Avengers on Thursday night. So we'll be recording on Sunday, and I'm sure we won't have enough content for a full movie or a full episode on that. So we'll be able to talk Avengers, kind of our thoughts on the movie, and then talk about whatever terrible movie we picked to go on the same episode.
It's going to be that Nick Fury movie. I'm going to find it.
You think so?
Yeah, I'll find it.
I kind of want to do the Captain America one.
I'm going to find it without paying for it, but I'm going to find that movie.
I kind of want to do the Captain America one just because I know it's the one that your dad took back.
Oh my God, yeah, good Lord. He was so disappointed.
Wasn't there an old Spider-Man movie or television show too?
You know, there was an old one, and he was so disappointed because, like, I know for one, he was a huge Captain America fan, like growing up as a kid, and it was like, or just like in general, like of him reading comic books, and he was like a big Captain America fan and a big Silver Surfer fan, and I remember when Fantastic Four, the second one, came out, like, I could tell that he was a little bit excited, be like, oh my God, this is Silver Surfer. He's going to be on the big screen finally. And then when he watched it, he was just not impressed.
It's so good.
Yeah. So there's a couple nerd out moments that I've seen in my dad. Like, he never alluded to being a comic book kid, but I know that he was, back in the day. So there's some good stories. I will, I'm gonna find this Nick Fury movie and we're gonna watch it. So.
That's great.
I will do that.
Let's do that.
That is my mission.
All right. Let's see where you go in this mission. Where this mission takes you, sir.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right, guys. So make sure to follow us on all platforms. We're on Instagram. Matt's on Tinder, and I don't even know what else. Anything else? Social media, Twitter and Instagram at GoFo Podcast. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to leave likes, leave a comment, leave a review on iTunes and Stitcher. We'll read those reviews and we'll get you put in to win some cool GoFo gear, maybe even some nerdy somethings gear. Yeah. And we'll read it on the show. Make sure, because if you leave us a funny review, if you talk about, cut a promo on Matt, even Macho Man will read it for you.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, just talk trash about Matt. Say great things, bad things, whatever you want. As long as it's a 5-star review, Macho Man will read that review to Matt.
Yeah,
Macho Man reviews GoFo.
Yeah, and as long as you're not racist or homophobic, we'll read them online. You can
talk about both of our hairlines if you'd like.
Yeah, the like thereofs.
Yes,
and be sure to check out nerdysomethings.com.
There's a great article that just came up on DC Universe Online and how Rob's been playing it for the last 8 years, which prompted me to download the game again. So,
and I will be writing some articles again in the future. Take a little bit of a break, but I'm back to typing some stuff up. So look out soon if you guys like those articles that I'm putting up. So yeah, check them out there.
Awesome, Matt.
Laters, geeks. The Geek Out Freak Out podcast is produced and edited by Matt Salgado and Jeremy Holman. Special thanks to Rock My Bit for the theme song.